And good evening, I'm Bo Williams and welcome to the 7. Let's get a look at the big 7 stories happening right now. Topping the list for us, storms impacting Tennessee with strong winds causing wildfires and power outages. Take a look at some of the damage. This is out of Nashville near Vanderbilt's campus. The Nashville Fire Department had reports that a portion of a building was leaning on a power pole after last night's strong winds there. Some parts of the building fell onto the sidewalk. No injuries were reported. In Cookeville, strong winds ripped part of a roof off of a building. Workers had to place a tarp to prevent rain from coming into the home. Now, we're told pieces of the metal roof ended up blowing into the nearby street. All right, as promised, wildfires next on our list tonight. We begin with the fire in Tellico Plains. The Lake Heights area is still smoldering, but as of 11 this morning, we're told the fire was controlled. Now, crews are still monitoring conditions and will be, well, for at least the next few days. Also, some power outages will remain in effect while the damage is being assessed.
Since we have it to the point where manpower, we can control it, hopefully by the end of the week. Normally a 2 or 3 day period is when you really watch those hot spots. So hopefully by the end of the week we should be, for a lack of better terms, out of the woods, hopefully. So, but definitely monitoring them for another couple of days.
You know, just a reminder, evacuations in Monroe County have been lifted. Next, we want to go to Sevier County, where several fires sparked there. While most of the fires in the county have been extinguished, Tennessee Forestry Division tells us the fire at Webb Mountain is only about 10% contained. Now, responders say around 400 acres have burned on the mountain, and while most of the area is smoldering now, crews are actually working to secure its perimeter. And while few people needed to evacuate the area, those we spoke with say they are still on edge from last night's events. Many saying it was a harrowing reminder of the wildfires that moved through Sevier County back in 2016.
I guess I'm kind of fortunate because, yes, I had a lot of things right after 2016. And if a siren went off anywhere, I'm going, you know. But it's going to happen everywhere like it did in California.
You know, while crews are still working in the area, they tell us the rain that we've received has been beneficial in helping them extinguish the fire, and they are hoping for more. Big questions being asked by TBI tonight. That's after people were found dead in a home in Maynardville. Right now, there is no answer for what exactly happened. And here's what we do know. Monday night, police were called to a home off Walter Way in Maynardville after getting reports of a domestic incident and a shooting. 2 people, Natalia Malikova and Stephen Jenkins, were found dead inside the home. Police say their bodies have been taken now for autopsy. The district attorney has called in the TBI to investigate. All right, next on our Big 7 at 7 list for you, we're learning the man accused of shooting 2 Blount County deputies has been indicted on attempted first-degree murder charges. As we've reported, last year, multiple law enforcement agencies responded to a home in the 1100 block of Jacob Springs Boulevard. This is in the Rockford area. According to the sheriff's office, Ronald Millsaps fired shots at responding deputies, hitting 2 of them. Both were taken to UT Medical Center for treatment. Millsaps was later taken into custody. A sheriff's office spokesperson shared that deputies have been called to the home at least 3 different occasions previously. Now, Millsaps was originally facing several charges, including aggravated assault, attempted criminal homicide, among others. Another big indictment for you. It's focused on a Knoxville man accused of the murder of his wife. Today, 6 News obtained the grand jury's paperwork charging Charles Hornberger with second-degree murder. Now, this goes back to December when Hornberger's wife, Janine, was found on the porch of a South Knoxville home. Knoxville police initially called her death suspicious. At a preliminary hearing, a KPD detective testified that Charles Hornberger admitted the 2 had gotten into an argument which then turned physical, and Hornberger reportedly told the detective he ended up shooting his wife. Hornberger had originally faced a first-degree murder charge. Next up on the Big 7 at 7, 6 people are facing felony charges after law enforcement searched a home referred to as a hub of criminal activity. 9th Judicial District Attorney General Russell Johnson announced the arrests after a search was executed off the home on Beals Chapel Road. An investigation led law enforcement to shut down the operation that they have frequently had calls about for several years. Now, during the search, they found more than 100 grams of methamphetamine, 20 firearms, and various other narcotics. While officers encountered 8 people during their search, Johnson said only 6 were charged. Now, the charges include felony drug charges and charges related to firearms. And wrapping up our Big 7 list for you, there's an East Tennessee connection with the arrest of a key suspect in 3 major terror attacks, including a 2021 bombing in Afghanistan that killed 13 U.S. military members and over 150 civilians. That's the attack that killed Coreyton native Staff Sergeant Ryan Knaus. According to the criminal complaint, the suspected terrorist allegedly conducted surveillance so that he could prepare the suicide bomber. Now, the arrest was addressed in President Trump's joint address to Congress last night.
We have just apprehended the top terrorist responsible for that atrocity, and he is right now on his way here to face the swift sword of American justice.
Yeah, the suspect arriving on U.S. soil, as you heard, was immediately met by the FBI director and U.S. Attorney General after he was handed over by Pakistani authorities. As we mentioned, the attack in 2021 killed Staff Sergeant Ryan Knaus. The 23-year-old was attempting to help people escape the Taliban takeover when the attack at the Kabul airport happened. Last year, Knaus was posthumously awarded the Congressional Gold Medal. He is buried at Arlington National Cemetery.